Be your worst enemy. No way. No way. Oh my God.
He never misses those. And Leo steals main stage away from the clutches of Spargo in the most. How much longer can Leo continue to get away with it, man? It's insane.
Yeah. This kid is an absolute psycho. His whole mission in life, just break your soul.
The end of the tournament coming on up, guys. Could be me closing it out. Yeah, there you go.
That kid is a grinder, and the results justify everything. Came in with so much pressure on his shoulders, so many expectations for what this young man could accomplish, and I mean, there it is, man. Not disappointing at all, going up against all the best that we could throw at him at this event and overcame all of them.
Yeah, I mean, really the only name missing that really could have done it, Mkleo.
Yeah, correct.
I wanted to ask you, so, I mean, like the fame set, right, you and Aquila, everybody was talking about that forever. You guys kept dodging each other, just not at the same tournament, wasn't working out. What was going through your mind when you stepped up for the first set?
He was the only player I didn't price against.
In competition, legends are born and die every single day. Among them, however, are those who truly stand out. Those who dominate to an even higher degree, never before seen. These are the monarchs. These kings and queens, throughout all of history, no matter how dominant, have fallen victim to the same ever-present force.
How much more nervous she was to play her last Wimbledon final, and the finals when she was in her 30s.
A couple of years since Serena won a Grand Slam title.
Father Time. Even historically praised stars such as LeBron James, once a dragon in his castle, now clearly in the final steps of his last dance. If all legends must fall eventually, this raises two interesting questions. For one, who's next? And second, how much time does our king have left?
What?
Okay, Leo.
Because the clock is ticking. There will always be younger talent. No matter how hard you fight on, your age will keep growing, and the talent will stay the same, always.
People really thought I wasn't the best, dude.
Forcing Leo to bring out that desperation.
These players are able to do things that have never been able to be done before, and you're no longer able to do the things they used to do easily. Mkleo is objectively the greatest Smash Ultimate player of all time, and yet his prime is objectively past him. For over 2.5 years, Mkleo had a streak of only getting first and second place at every event he would go on to attend during that period, but those days are long gone. Once the cracks in his armor were first shown by Proto Banham back at Summit 4, they were never repaired, never built the same way. People knew that they could defeat him, and the young hyenas were looking at their prey, ready to pounce. I feel like historically, when we look back, Spargo will be looked at as some sort of a messenger, really, for what was to come in terms of Smash Ultimate's next generation. Because when Spargo was first rising up, he was really the only talent that young, and he was surrounded by a bunch of 25-year-olds, and he was just trying to make his way as a young buck.
Why? Why? There was no reason to do that, Rod. Are you kidding me? We'll be seeing you. Why did he do that to him? That was a child.
But if you look at the meta and kind of the top placings of tournaments today, it's the exact opposite. You will have maybe one 25-year-old, and everybody from there on is about 17 to 20. And this is just what the top 8s look like these days, because these are the players that are on the rise. Defeat does not mean the end yet. In fact, it can be a great opportunity to adjust and come back a far stronger player. The real problem with growing older is that within your field, you start to see less and less people that look like you, which is obviously going to be discouraging, as you will go on to see more and more fresh young talent straight out of Elite Smash jumping at the opportunity to take your spot. If you watch any older Smash Ultimate players to this day, they likely play older characters. And I mean this in two ways. Either they play characters that have just been around in Smash since its release, or they play characters that were very successful in the initial meta of Smash Ultimate but maybe are not so much these days. If you see a lot of young kids coming up today, they don't play the characters that used to be good. They play the characters that are good right now. Really think of it for a moment though. That is the type of character that a lot of these new young talent play these days, and it makes a lot of sense. Luigi, Mr. Game & Watch, Sonic, Steve, and then, you know, there's obviously just Spargo, who's a completely different case. Seldom is the community surprised to see a top-level talent retiring. This is because oftentimes when your moment in the limelight has kind of passed you and your top placements have been squandered, you are not going to keep competing for too much longer because you just don't have it in you anymore. You're not gaining much from it, and it's just kind of lowering how people see you, in the public eye at least. So many top players, once they kind of begin waning in success and their career has taken a dip, they just call it quits, and this makes sense. We've seen players like Proto Vanham, Fatality, and Goblin all do this before. However, the one that didn't make sense to many people was Tweak.
Is it maybe your last tournament?
Yes. It's my last tournament.
It's your last tournament?
Yeah.
When you have a player who is definitely still in contention for being one of the best in the world, definitely still making his claim to fight for the throne, retire just seemingly out of the blue, after still having amazing performances, it's definitely going to turn some heads. This was really the case for Tweak, and although I do believe that there is some sort of multitude of reasons for why he would have decided to retire, I do think that definitely the heavy weight and presence of feeling these young talent rising up, whereas he does sometimes feel like he is the only player from his generation still around and fighting for it, it's definitely going to make it a very stressful experience whenever you're attending tournaments, because you just feel like you're not in the same league as these guys anymore.
What people think Kazuya is in Smash is what Mia is in Smash. Like when Mia hits you, you are dead. Like you're dead. So I just never got a chance.
For those reasons, I would imagine it just played a very heavy role in Tweak's decision to step away from Smash Ultimate. And it is really, really interesting because it's a player who people really never saw as somebody who could step back from the game. It wasn't even like his performances had dipped even a little bit. Kagurabi 13 took place around a month ago and is widely considered to be the hardest tournament to win in the history of Smash Ultimate. And yet, Tweak would go on to place 4th at this tournament. At this same tournament, Tweak would go on to announce his retirement. That's just absurd. But it makes sense when you look at the top 5. Among the 4 other top 5 placers alongside Tweak within this tournament, 0 of them have ever been ranked within the top 50 before 2022, which is just so shocking. But again, this would definitely lead to an older player feeling like they just can't do it anymore if none of these guys were even around 3 years ago. That's not it, however. To make things even crazier, Doramigi, who placed 5th place, which is only 1 spot below Tweak, and has been running on a rampage as of recently throughout all of Japan and been considered one of the greatest players in the world, got 5th place at this tournament, and yet he was born in 2009. Which, to put that into perspective a little bit, Tweak was born in 1998. Which means that the first Smash game Tweak ever competed in was Smash Brawl. Doramigi was born after Smash Brawl released. So, again, it's definitely going to be hard to compete with a guy that is younger than your Smash career. It's no wonder these players give in to the inevitable urge of time. It just feels like it's an immense weight that eventually crushes you, and many people decide to just step away before it's too late. I think Tweak didn't want to see his career kind of get tarnished in the latter stages of it, and maybe he could just feel the fact that he wasn't going to be able to keep up for much longer. Again, I do think there are many other reasons for why Tweak may have retired that all kind of combined and culminated in him deciding to do it, but I definitely think that this played a role. As for our king, the greatest player of all time, do you really see him ever getting rank 1 again? I don't think so. But I do think that he is by no means washed. And I think, to be honest, he's clearly shown this, especially as of late. He got top 4 at Get On My Level Forever, which is an extremely difficult tournament to win, and his wins, the actual players he would end up defeating, were even more indicative of this. He would go on to defeat Hurt, who many people would consider the greatest player in the world right now, which is shocking because, again, Mkleo has been doing this for so long. And that's not all. He would go on to defeat Shuton as well, who, if you don't know, Shuton in every single set he's ever played against Mkleo hasn't even taken a single game off of him. He is known as like the Mkleo master. He just cannot even be touched by Mkleo. He got 3-0'd by Mkleo at Get On My Level. So Mkleo still has that fire in him. And I feel like as long as you have that fire and you have that passion and you want to keep going and you still want to be great, you can do it. So to all the older players, would I say retire? No. I'd encourage you to keep going as long as you can. You know, you kind of write your own destiny. And to all the young talent, to all the young people watching who really want to be competitors and they want to be the greatest, go out there and get these guys. You can take them down. This is your time. Your time is now. So in conclusion, the harsh truth is that nobody's dominance truly lasts forever. Some may come in short bursts and do what they need to do and then get out of there gracefully. Some may hold on as long as they can and keep fighting till the bitter end. However, the truth of the matter is that one thing that does last forever is your legacy. Even if Mkleo stopped playing today, I guarantee you that his stories would be told throughout every Smash game from here on out.